Think modern fantasy anime are just generic power trips starring bland heroes? You are entirely wrong. Prepare for the top 10 most criminally underrated gems. Kicking off our list at number 10, Handyman Saito in Another World. Saito is an incredibly average handyman who gets transported to a standard fantasy realm. Instead of gaining overpowered magic, he uses his mundane repair skills to assist an eccentric adventuring party. Unlocking chests, fixing armor, and navigating dungeons become his unlikely methods for surviving this dangerous new magical world. This show brilliantly subverts the genre by proving that practical competence is just as valuable as flashy explosions. The short episodic skits eventually weave into a surprisingly deep and emotional overarching narrative. It balances hilarious physical comedy with genuinely touching moments about finding your true purpose alongside an utterly dysfunctional but deeply lovable found family. You need to watch this. Moving down the rankings to number 9. The magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady. Princess Anisphia lacks traditional magic abilities, but utilizes her past life memories to invent revolutionary magical technology. When she witnesses the brilliant noblewoman Euphilia getting publicly humiliated and stripped of her royal engagement, Anisphia rescues her. Together, they challenge the societal norms and rigid traditions of their aristocratic kingdom. What sets this series apart is the undeniable chemistry between the two leads and its surprisingly sharp political intrigue. Studio de Armadea delivers breathtaking action sequences that completely elevate the viewing experience. It takes familiar reincarnation tropes and injects them with genuine stakes, compelling character growth, and a beautiful Yuri romance that never feels forced. It is an absolute visual treat. Sliding into our list at number 8, Sweet Reincarnation. A brilliant master pastry shies in an accident and reincarnates as Pastry Mill Mortel, the young heir to a struggling, impoverished noble domain. Armed with his previous culinary expertise and minor magical abilities, he navigates dangerous political disputes and resource shortages to realize his dream of baking pastries. Do not let the cheerful title deceive you. This series hides a remarkably tense strategic core beneath its sugary exterior. The sheer intelligence displayed in the tactical negotiations is absolutely thrilling. Watching a young boy manipulate seasoned warlords to secure ingredients for apple pies creates a delightfully bizarre yet totally gripping tonal contrast that keeps you hooked until the end. Securing a solid spot at number 7, the weakest tamer began a journey to pick up trash. Born without stars in a harsh society where magical ranks determine everything, young Ivy is hunted by her own village. She flees into the wilderness, surviving by scavenging discarded items. Her lonely existence shifts when she befriends a remarkably weak, dying slime, forging an unbreakable bond amidst the danger. This anime completely shattered my expectations. It is a visually gorgeous, atmospheric masterpiece wrapped in a survival story. The muted watercolor aesthetics perfectly capture Ivy's profound isolation and eventual healing. It excels at portraying genuine vulnerability rather than cheap power fantasies. Watching this little girl overcome immense trauma through pure kindness will absolutely melt your heart into an emotional puddle. Making its mark at number 6, Sasaki and Peeps. Sasaki is an exhausted corporate drone seeking companionship. He buys an adorable pet bird, only to discover the sparrow is actually a reincarnated legendary sage from another world. The bird grants Sasaki phenomenal magical abilities, allowing him to cross between dimensions to trade goods and build a lucrative business. I love how this show constantly switches lanes. One minute it is a relaxing slice of life merchant tale, and the next it abruptly transforms into an intense psychic battle anime involving government agencies and magical girls. The chaotic genre blending is executed with stunning confidence. It is weird, incredibly ambitious, and insanely entertaining from the very first chaotic episode. Breaking into our top 5 at number 5, The Witch and the Beast. Gaido is a feral cursed girl with incredible strength, while Ashaf is a sophisticated mage carrying a mysterious coffin. Together, they work for an arcane organization investigating rogue magic. They travel across a dark steampunk world, relentlessly hunting down malicious witches to break the curse placed upon Gaido's body. This anime drips with immaculate gothic style and unapologetic edge. The dynamic between the elegant Asharth and the absolutely savage good is pure television perfection. The fight choreography feels vicious and incredibly weighty. It completely revives the classic dark fantasy vibe reminiscent of older seinen masterpieces. You will quickly become obsessed with this brutal, stylish, and highly kinetic revenge thriller. Claiming a spot at number 4, No Longer Allowed in Another World. A melancholic literary genius attempts a double suicide with his lover, but suddenly wakes up in a typical fantasy realm. Unimpressed by the magical environment and completely lacking standard overpowered stats, this depressed author actively seeks death. Instead, his morbid persistence inadvertently solves local crises and recruits bewildered followers. This is easily the darkest and funniest parody I have watched recently. The humour comes from watching an apathetic, poetic sad boy completely ruin standard anime tropes by simply not caring about them. The contrast between enthusiastic fantasy villains and an author who just wants to sleep permanently is comedic gold. It is incredibly refreshing and delightfully cynical all throughout. Reaching the podium at number 3, Dragons of Wonderhatch. This groundbreaking series merges live-action reality with animated fantasy. Nagi is a high school student living in the real world, while Time is an outcast dragon rider from a decaying animated realm. Their distinct dimensions collide unexpectedly, forcing them to unite to prevent total destruction of both universes. Production IG absolutely knocked the animation sequences out of the park here. The ambitious blending of two completely different visual mediums creates an unforgettable aesthetic experience. It is wildly creative, taking immense creative risks that pay off beautifully. The emotional resonance hits incredibly hard because the real-world segments heavily ground the extravagant magical fantasy elements in genuine human struggles. Securing the runner-up spot at number 2, Zenshu Natsuko is an incredibly talented anime director who recently crafted a massively successful fantasy blockbuster. However, her newest project demands she direct a delicate teenage romance. Having never experienced love, she completely blocks. This beautifully animated series explores her chaotic artistic struggles as reality and fictional fantasies brilliantly collide. Studio Mappa brings their absolute best game to this gorgeous original project. It is a stunning love letter to the grueling animation industry, seamlessly blending slice-of-life comedy with breathtakingly imaginative fantasy sequences inside the mind of its protagonist. The profound dedication to showcasing the painful creative process makes this an incredibly unique and visually spellbinding absolute hidden gem. And finally, reigning supreme at number 1, Welcome to the Outcast's Restaurant. Dennis is a legendary master warrior who gets unjustly expelled from his elite adventuring party. Instead of seeking bitter revenge, he pursues his true passion of cooking. He opens a cozy diner, serving delicious meals to misfits while occasionally utilizing his monstrous combat skills to handle unruly demonic patrons. This anime easily takes the crown because it executes the slow-living trope with absolute perfection. It prioritizes wholesome character interactions over pointless power scaling. Watching an incredibly strong veteran simply chop vegetables and dispense solid life advice to younger adventurers feels incredibly therapeutic. It is the ultimate comfort show that every single fantasy anime fan must watch right now. These 10 anime prove that the fantasy genre still holds massive untapped potential beyond the mainstream hits. You do not need massive budgets to deliver top-tier storytelling. Tell me down below which underrated masterpiece you are watching next, and subscribe for more elite anime recommendations.